All right, welcome back to Ben Talks Utah Hockey. I'm Ben, and I'm talking some Utah hockey here today. We're going to go over a game recap from last night. Utah taking on Colorado in Colorado, the Avalanche. And yeah, we'll just kind of get into a little recap of the game, and we'll kind of break down a few things that I saw from Utah and just some bright spots and maybe some things to work on. So starting off, I think the story of the game for me is how well Karel Vejmelka played in net. That's been no surprise as of late. He's been standing on his head, being a brick wall back there for the boys, and he's just been exciting to watch. He's playing really good in net, and he's playing really well in net, I should say. And he's playing huge for his team. The Utah Hockey Club, they need that, especially right now. They need to be able to put teams away, and it starts with good goaltending. So Carell with a 958 save percentage, 1 goal against last night, stopping all but one shot. Um, just huge for Utah. Um, Defeating a in division opponent, gaining 2 points on them last night. So we're only 3 points behind them now in the standings, and we jump over the Blues last night in the standings. So um, the boys, they can play more free when you have good goaltending. They can take more chances, um, take more shots, take more chances offensively when you've got a good and a hot goaltender behind you. Um, and I thought the second line again playing really well, with Gunther getting 3 points, 2 goals, 1 assist last night. Almost had a hat trick a couple of times, and especially there on the empty net there. I think they're in the latter part of the game. Avs kept pulling their goalie, even after Stenlund buried one on an empty net. I felt like the guys were trying to get it to Gunther to get him a hat trick and maybe could have had goals themselves. So that was really cool to see. Gunther had a great game. Uh, McBain had a good game. He's just a grinder. Love watching him play. And then Cooley, he's got 12 points in the last 7 games. He's on a hot streak. He's going to the net. He's just planting himself in front of the net. I mean, he's going to the net and planting himself there, and good things are going to happen when you do that. And just love the way that he's been playing lately. Um, the fourth line as well. I got to talk about the fourth line with Kerfoot, Stenlund, and Carconi. Really impressed with how these guys have been playing as of late. Stenlund, he gets his fourth goal of the year, or sorry, his fifth goal of the year, but fourth in the last 4 games. So he's on a 4 game goal streak. I know that it was an empty netter, but they don't ask how, they ask how many. So that's cool to see. That fourth line has been providing a lot of pressure and a lot of offense. They've been getting pucks deep, and what I've noticed too is not only are they getting the pucks deep, they're creating chances and they're creating face-offs in the offensive zone. Whether that's shots on net or just creating pressure to get face-offs in that zone. So if one of the top lines does come out, they've got that face-off secured in the offensive zone. So that's one thing I've noticed about that fourth line. They've been playing with a lot of grit, physical, and offensive. I mean, defense has been great for them, but I've noticed that they've just been playing well offensively for that fourth line, and you love to see that out of your fourth line. The more points that those guys can get helped out the team, the better. It takes a lot of pressure off those top line guys. They can play a little bit more free. So, like what I've been seeing there. Um, Keller, I said it in a previous episode, but Keller, he's been shooting the puck more, and I think that's huge. He's a pass first kind of guy, and just watching him as of late, he's been shooting the puck more, and I think that's needed. Good things happen when you shoot the puck at the net. And when you hit the net, we're not sending a puck wide or sending it over the top. Like when you hit the net, you 50-50 whether you're going to get a rebound or that's going to sneak in off somebody or hit a stick or hit a skate and go in. We saw that tonight, or last night, excuse me, with Gunther's first goal. Cooley drives the net, Gunther out wide, kind of throws a hard shot low towards the net, gets a bounce off of one of the Avalanche defenders and goes in. Cooley's right there, but I initially thought it was Cooley's goal, and then Gunther goes towards the bench first, so that tells me that Cooley didn't get that. But nevertheless, Cooley was in the right spot, and just getting pucks on net, good things will happen. So really, really loved what I saw last night from the offense. Defensively, Ian Cole with block shots. I mean, he's got to be wearing extra layers of protection underneath all that gear because, dude just lays down in the slot and he just lays his body on the line. And it's really, he's an older guy, he's an older defenseman, but he really helps his team defensively with all the block shots. It's been a story this year. He's playing really well defensively on that second pair with Kesselring, and I think he's allowing for Kesselring to take more chances offensively, because he's now all of a sudden more of an offensive minded defenseman, and it just playing on that second pair with Ian Cole I think is huge. A veteran presence on the blue line and in the locker room I think is, it's really helped that defensive core. I really like that pairing with Ian Cole and Kesselring. Last night, I thought we as a team they took away ice from the skilled players. Yes, they had some chances, but they minimized their chances and stuck to them and eliminated space. So Makar and McKinnon didn't have as much space to work. McKinnon does end up getting a goal last night, but really we stifled their offense and just didn't give them a ton of room to work the puck and do what those guys are good at doing. The speed and the power of McKinnon and Makar, Nichushkin. We just kind of stifled them and it just didn't allow for them to really get anything going, and you could tell that they were frustrated, and trying to do too much, I think, and not really playing a team game, maybe just playing a more individual type game. And when you can shut guys like that down, it's gonna be tough to beat you. So more games like that in the future, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. But I really like the way that they played defensively last night. Penalty kill and power play, I think, have been solid as of late. We've been taking less penalties as a team here in Utah, but yeah, I thought it was great tonight. Dylan Gunther, he gets that high sticking and on the Avs player and draws a little bit of blood. Looked like he already had a broken nose already, so I don't know how much that really affected it, but drew a little bit of blood, get that 4-minute penalty, and we kill it off. So I think special teams has been a bright spot as of late because coming into this game, we've been one of the more penalized teams in the league, and we've been getting sticks in the lane, bodies in the lane, in the shooting lanes, and I think that's been important, and it's been good to see. Hopefully we can continue to take less penalties. That way, the defense isn't as strained, and we can play a little bit more free. Another bright spot on the defense was Kolyachonok getting on the board. Hasn't got a lot of opportunity this year. but with some injuries to the defensive side, Kolyachonok, he's a young defenseman and he makes something good happen. He throws the puck on the net, looking for Gunther there in front of the net, and he gets a bounce off of. Excuse me. Maybe I'm getting sick here. But Kolyachonok, bear with me. Kolyachonok, he throws one on the net, gets a good bounce off an Avalanche player's stick, and he gets on the board. You know, making the most of his opportunities when he can get in the lineup, I think is important. I think he is a lower six, a bottom six, bottom four type minutes guy. He's young. But he's got a lot of upside. So hopefully, with him in the lineup and Bortuzzo out, maybe we'll see him again more this upcoming week. So it was good to see him get on the board. All right, so in the standings, fifth in the Central, we're at 31 points. We jumped the Blues last night, 2 points on Colorado. Like I've said in a previous episode, the keys the keys for Utah, I think, are getting points against in division opponents. Looking at the standings, we're fifth. Um, we're 3 points behind the Avalanche. The Avalanche are in fourth, just below the Stars, the Wild, and the Jets, leading the division here. But we're right there. We're in the hunt. I mean, we've got 2 games in hand on Colorado. They've played 2 more than us. So say we get another couple wins here. We take games to overtime if need be, and get points. I think that's huge. The scheduling hasn't been great. I think with all the traveling we've had to do over the last couple of weeks. Over to the East Coast, back 1 game back, and then we're traveling to Colorado. Now we're going to San Jose. I think just getting points when we can get them is going to be big. And we're at a +2 goal differential this year, which is huge. That's the first time, as far as I know, the first time this year that we've been at a positive goal differential. 87 goals for, 85 goals against. And in the past 10 games, we're 6-2-2. So points in 8 of the last 10. And, I think that's going to be really critical going forward. Next game we got is against San Jose. And let's see here if I can do a little bit of a... Let me just check here. Yep, so tomorrow night, Saturday night, late night game for me. I'm here on the East Coast. I live in Florida now. So these West Coast games, when they play in California and British Columbia, they're 10 o'clock starts for me. So a lot of these episodes will come out the next day. As far as me recording, I'm probably going to record them the next morning. I take notes, and then we'll probably record them the next morning, just because 10 o'clock start for me, that means it's, game's over around 1 in the morning for me by the time I watch a little post game and stuff like that. So bear with me, but we do have the Sharks tomorrow. Hopefully we can get a win against them. They they got us in our home barn at the Delta Center last time in overtime. They came back that third period and really put it to us. So they're a good young team, just kind of like us. They're a young team. They've got a superstar developing in Macklin Celebrini, and so we'll see how we do on the road there. Hopefully we can get a big road win and continue the confidence that the guys have been building over the last couple of games. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. we will see you. Uh, I'll probably put out another episode after that game. So we'll go from there. I appreciate you joining me on this journey. And yeah, Ben Talks Utah Hockey. Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here. Sorry. I'm still new to this, but I appreciate you along for the ride here. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.